Howdy, and welcome back to another episode of the Unreliable Show. Once again, we watched a movie, and we're gonna tell y'all about it, because apparently that's what we do. First off, we watched Into the Woods. It's a new live-action Disney thing, and I'll start because I'm holding the camera, so I get to decide. Basically, for me anyway, it seemed like a very artistic, stylized kind of movie. There was a lot of singing, a lot of different kind of imagery. It felt kind of like, a different piece from what you'd expect from Disney, really. It was definitely set apart from what they usually do. Also, I gotta say, this was a lot more true to grim stories. It was a bit more gruesome. I mean, people still got a happy ending, kind of, but there was some death. There was more true to the grim tales. They touched on Cinderella, and the stepsisters actually did cut off their toes. So just a lot of things that really kind of went back to the stories and did things the way they normally would go instead of the standard Disney version, which was actually kind of a cool thing to see. Cancer. Also, all the actors and actresses did a great job, and it was surprising that the movie was actually full of a lot of big names, and they all did really well, especially for the movie being a musical, and it absolutely was. Everyone has an incredible singing voice in Hollywood, apparently. So that was just another thing that, it was good. And the singing actually, for me anyway, didn't take away from the movie. Like, it really kind of fit, and it kept things going, and they worked it in a way that you still get the narrative, and the story still goes forward. It just happens through song. So, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was really good. I don't know what else to say without rambling. Like I said, it was kind of an artsy piece, but it was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would recommend it. Tyler, thoughts?
Stephen Sondheim, he did the music, and it was, I will say, it was good. It wasn't great. Like, when I think of, like, a great, musical score, I think of, like, Wicked, or, something of that caliber, and, it was just good. It wasn't anything memorable. Into the Woods, the first song, which was the big ensemble song, that was good. The other ones were, good and emotional, but yeah, I consider this movie to be like the ultimate Disney life lesson learned mashup. Like, it had everything, all the revenge, love, children, parents, and, greed and hate and magic beans, all the life lessons you learn. But yeah, it was a good movie. Probably, I can't say probably, it's definitely the best live-action Disney movie I've seen in a decade.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was 2 hours, 4 minutes long. Definitely felt that long, but in a good way. And there was almost like, if you've seen the movie before, there's like a certain point where you expect it to end, like the happily ever after, and then all of a sudden it keeps going, and it turns into its own like little mini episode, in the last, I don't know, was it maybe a quarter of the movie? But it was all very entertaining. Like Dean said, the actresses were great, except for Johnny Depp. But yeah, definitely go check it out. It's worth a watch. Good stuff.
And also, because this is a Disney flick, we thought, maybe we'd change it up a little and actually get the perspective of a kid who is the general Disney audience. So I bring you a kid.
I like when Johnny Depp died. The two twins got their feet cut off, and the two giants, they died. One fell off the beanstalk, and the other one, a tree fell on her, and the singing was good. There was some good actors in there, and yeah, it's a good movie. Into the Woods, watch it. I thought it was a good movie. They put stories like Cinderella and stuff, and they mixed them together, and it caused disruption and stuff, and caused drama, and the whole thing fell apart, and parents died, and there was death, and they all got together as the end, and the baker it's a character story. He had a kid and the mom died, and it was a good movie. It's really good. You should see it with the actors. The singing was okay. They did the whole story. There was a little bit of talking, and there was like a prince that he was unselfish and cheated on his wife. That would be the Cinderella story, and he moved to a different story and caused the eruption in that, and that caused her death. And she fell off the cliff. So that was a good movie. I liked it.
So there you go. A different kind of movie that Disney normally does, but definitely a good one. And even your kids will think so. So I highly recommend it. And if you have kids or a family or just anyone you want to see a movie with, you should take them, because everyone will have a great time. So there you go.
Now, here's one thing. Does anybody else think that Chris Pine looked weird as a prince?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he looked bad as a prince. I thought he kind of fit and he worked. It was believable enough in the role. I thought both of them did a decent job.
Really? I don't know. Every time I saw him, like Johnny Depp's character as the wolf, I hated him. And I didn't like the look of the wolf. And then Chris Pine, he just looked weird as a prince. And of course, his voice was dubbed. And if it wasn't, he's got one hell of an amazing, weird, unholy voice for that body. But, other than that, bravo, everybody.
All right, well, now that we've wrapped it up once, I'll wrap it up again. That was it. And everyone likes it. And it's a good movie.
And now we're going to drop these children off the corner where we found them at.